Good evening. The pediatric condition that I will be discussing today is on Asperger's disorder. So what exactly is Asperger's? Asperger's disorder is a neurodevelopmental condition at the less severe end of the autism spectrum that can affect as many as 1 in 250 people, with many who remain undiagnosed. Asperger's disorder can include motor clumsiness and problems with handwriting and being hypersensitive to specific auditory and tactile experiences. Other symptoms may include failure to develop friendships that are appropriate to the child's developmental level, impaired use of nonverbal behavior such as eye gaze, lack of social and emotional reciprocity and empathy, impaired ability to identify social cues, difficulties with conversation skills, deficits in making literal interpretations, unusual intensity and focus of special interest, and preference for routine and consistency. So why is Asperger's called Asperger's? Asperger's is named after a Viennese physician, Hans Asperger, who described the syndrome in a 1944 paper. In spite of the publication of his paper in the 1940s, it wasn't until 1994 that the Asperger's syndrome was added to the DSM in the fourth edition. So what causes Asperger's? The etiology of autism spectrum disorders is unknown. The variability of ASD has posed a great challenge for researchers looking for a cause. Scientific studies show factors that are likely to contribute to the cause, such as genetics, environmental factors during pregnancy, and neurobiology. How is Asperger's diagnosed? A communication disorder is diagnosed when impairment is significant enough to interfere with academic or daily life functioning. There are two ways to diagnose an individual with Asperger's. The first involves parents or teachers completing a questionnaire or rating scale. Questions on the assessment ask about social and emotional abilities, communication skills, cognitive skills, special interests, and movement skills. Second is an assessment by clinicians experienced in examining the behaviors and abilities of children with developmental disorders. So for my empathy piece, what I want you to do is I want you to close your eyes and imagine that you are 8 years old again. You just came home from school. You're sitting at your kitchen table waiting for your mom to come home. You can hear your brothers and sisters play outside with all the neighborhood kids, and you just want to be alone. The laughing and the conversations between all the children are sometimes too loud and unbearable to stand, but you continue on waiting at the kitchen table because that's exactly what you do every day at the same exact time. It's 3:30 and your mom is not home yet. Your mother is always home by 3:30. You start to feel your throat bubble up and you can feel the tears begin to fill up in your eyes. The anxiety begins to increase. It's 3:35. She's still not home. You sit and wait. The children's voices from outside get louder and louder. The tears are rolling down your face. Your heart is beginning to race. You look at the time. It's 3:45, and she's not home yet. You begin to think, what are you going to do? You're so scared. And finally, 3:50, you hear the door open. It's your mom. She runs over to you and asks, what is wrong? You reply, very frustrated. Why are you so late? You're always home by 3:30, but today you're not. She apologizes and says she was stuck in traffic. She begins to go through your homework folder and finds a note from your teacher. The note says, please have your child complete activity 11 on page 72. Your child did not participate in completing activity during classroom time and sat at the desk for 45 minutes with the book in front of him. Your mother turns to you and asks, why didn't you complete the assignment in class? You reply to her, the teacher just told us to turn to page 72 and look at the activity. She never told us to complete it. This is actually a specific example that I had found in one of my articles that I had cited. So, can Asperger's syndrome be treated? There's no specific medication that can treat Asperger's. There is medication that could help with the different symptoms that Asperger's may have. The person with Asperger's disorder may have levels of anxiety, sadness, or anger that indicate a secondary mood disorder. Therefore, certain medications such as benzodiazepines or antidepressants can help alleviate symptoms as an individual with Asperger's may encounter. How can occupational therapy help? Occupational therapists frequently work with individuals who are diagnosed with Asperger's to enhance and promote adaptive behavior functioning. Children with these diagnoses are typically seen by occupational therapy and early intervention programs and in schools. There is no specific treatment in Asperger's syndrome. OT interventions vary according to the area of deficit that require the most attention. Problems addressed by OT may include impaired sensory processing and deficits in social interaction. OTs often have motor and sensory treatment strategies to assist children with daily activities. This is generally achieved by enabling children to perform tasks that will enhance the ability to participate or modify the environment to better support participation. I hope that you've liked my newsletter, and I hope you have a better understanding of what Asperger's syndrome is. Thank you very much.